everyone, today we're going to be using one of my favorite templates, the orange peel in the large size, to make this beautiful quilt I'm calling Squeeze the Day. So look at this beautiful quilt. I think it is so fun, and using that large template makes these big blocks come together super fast. It measures 76 by 95, and I cannot wait to show you how to make it. So to make this quilt, you are going to need 4 1/4 yards of this denim. I used indigo, and remember this is 56 inches wide, so if you don't have that width, you might need a little bit more of standard quilting cotton. Then you're also going to need 1 1/8 of the 5 different colors you choose for the centers that are going to run down the middle. You'll need 1/2 yard of accent fabric. That's these little diamonds that come together here, and you'll need 4 5/8 of your background. In addition to that, you're also going to need some So Light Fusible and of course the large orange peel template. So let's dive right into this. So we're going to start off by making some large half square triangles. That's kind of the magic of this quilt. And so from your background and one of those 5 colors that you chose, you're going to cut 15 3/4 inch squares. And so I have those here, and I've stacked together, of course, my background and this beautiful pool color. And then we're going to use the 4 at a time method, which means we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam on all 4 sides, and then we can cut this corner to corner. So let's go ahead and take this to the machine. And we will make 4 of these half square triangles using this method. All right, we have made it around all 4 sides. And so now we can take our ruler and lay that corner to corner. And you want to make sure you're intersecting those seams, just like so. And we'll cut this direction, and then lift our ruler up. Make sure those stay together. And this direction as well. All right, so now we can take these over to the ironing board. We can press these to the dark side. So I like to do that by having my dark fabric on top and just rolling it back on that center seam. We'll just press all 4 of these. And one more. All right, those are all pressed. So that is what our half square triangle looks like. If you have a 10-inch ruler, it is super handy because we are going to use that to square these down. And so one thing you want to watch for is this 45 line should line up right with your seam that's pressed open. So let's go ahead and trim these down. As you can see, you have plenty to square these up, so it's quite forgiving. But you do want to make sure that that seam goes right into the corner. And so if you have a rotating mat, that might be handy, but you can also just spin it. I like to cut 2 sides at a time. There we go. All right. So once we have that all squared up to 10 inches, you're going to repeat that with all 4 of your half square triangles. And then we can just sit these aside for a minute and we can move on to prepping our orange peels. So in order to do that, I used the roll of the So Light Fusible, and it's 12 inches wide. So I cut my denim into 12-inch strips, just like so, and then I fused the adhesive to the back. And so I have this ready to go. And so then all you're gonna do is you're gonna take your large template, and it just lays on here kind of at an angle. And I like to just cut my shape just like so. We can get rid of that excess. And then you can just kind of flip this back and forth to make it easier for you. I did go ahead and cut off the little straight side. There we go. And there's our orange peel shape. And so you'll just continue that all the way down your strips until you have enough of these for your whole quilt. So let's move this out of the way. And then we'll bring our half square triangle back in. And so what this is going to do is it is actually going to lay over that center seam. And so we can remove the paper, and I like to fold it to give a little crease. It makes it peel off really easily. And then I'm just going to line this up here in the center, and I just kind of eyeball it. Make sure it's laying nice and smooth. And then now we can take this over to the hot dry iron and press this into place. When you're working with fusible like this, you really don't want to iron by dragging your iron across. You just want to lift and press, which is a good rule of thumb in quilting in general. We just want to make sure it is nice and adhered all the way around. Once we have that good and secure, now we can go back and do our top stitching. So I have switched out the thread in my machine to, I am using black, but you could use navy, whatever you think is going to match your orange peel color. So I've changed the top thread and my bobbin thread, and I have chosen a blanket stitch that I'm going to finish off this edge. You could use a zigzag, but let's go ahead and do that. It is pivoting across the bottom here. And then we can go up the other side. All right, we have finished all of that top stitching. Let's take a look at that. I just did a blanket stitch all the way around, and I think it looks really, really nice. And so there is one more step to finish up this part of our block, excuse me. We are going to use that accent fabric, and for me, I chose purple and I cut that into 2.5-inch squares. And you can see I've just drawn a line corner to corner, and on all of the white outside corners, we are going to just add this purple snowball. So we're gonna sew right on that drawn line corner to corner. So let's go ahead and take this to the machine. Need to switch back to my straight stitch here. There we go. Perfect. So you can see I just stitched right on that line. And so now we just want to trim off the excess here and just leave our 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then we can press this corner back. So I'm just going to roll that back just like so. And this is 1 quadrant of our block. I have the other 4 done here. Let me grab those. There we go. And so now we're going to put those together with our colors pointing towards the center. And we can sew this together just like a big 4 patch. And then you can see it is 4 of these blocks across. And I kept all my light colors together in a row by 5 down. And it gives you this absolutely beautiful quilt. I love how it turned out. I quilted it with Time Warp, and I used this fun 108 on the back. I think it turned out absolutely awesome. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you next time. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching at home. We're so excited to be almost 1 million quilters strong here at Missouri Star. And so if you haven't already joined our family, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of all of our future tutorials. And we'll see you soon.